boy, okay. You'll see. My mind is blown. I just tallied up the results from last week. That was there's a little story behind it. I'll get there in a second, but holy crap! So welcome to the channel. This is the Everyone Is Here tournament DLC. You know, we vote for whoever we want. If you haven't seen it, it's simple. Basically, I'll upload one of the matches from this tournament each day, except Sundays, and then we vote between one of the two characters down in the comments. So for the video, I'll go over maybe a mini moveset pool for both characters, maybe a couple facts about both characters, and then, yeah, we vote. But voting's a part of the overall rules, so here's all the rules on screen so you can just read them yourself, but I'm going to read them too. Alright, rule 1. This is for fun. That means you vote for who you want. You don't have to vote for who's more likely. You vote for who you want. Alright, simple. Rule 2, though. You only get one vote per person. I will check that stuff. But you only get one vote. How do you vote? That's simple. Down in the comments, simply type the name of the character you are voting for. If you happen to like both characters, you are allowed to vote for both characters. Totally fine. But do remember, only one vote per person. Rest of the rules, double elimination tournament means, well, a character will have to lose 2 times before being officially eliminated. Once we get to the results to determine the winner and loser of each individual match, if there's a tie in the voting, we're going to flip a coin on camera. It's the first way to break any tie. And then each matchup voting-wise only lasts for 1 week, so you have 7 days to get your votes in from when the episode first gets uploaded. If your vote comes in after that, well, it doesn't count. Simple as that. Anyway, those are the rules. Let's get to the very, very, very interesting results, and then the rest of the video. Okay, story time in a couple seconds. So, yeah, you'll see why. Suspicious, perhaps, but there could be something to it. So, the result from last week was the matchup Cosmos from the Xenosaga series, who is taking on Sandbag, the resident punching bag of Smash Bros. And, oh my, what the hell? What happened? Alright, yeah, that's probably what you're wondering, looking at this, right? Sandbag won 107 votes to 73 votes. Okay, Sandbag beat Cosmos. Maybe that's not the most shocking thing. Maybe it's the number of votes. So here's a tiny bit of a story. Maybe it kind of explains. So somebody on, what was it, Twitter, a few days ago. What's today? Monday. So what was that? Friday. Yeah, before I was going to work on Friday, somebody on Twitter DM'd me and said, I watched your video about Cosmos against Sandbag, and you said, where are all the Cosmos fans at? Well, I'm here to let you know they're still around. This person is telling me this. I'm like, okay, I'm sure they are. It's just, you know, like I said in the video, I heard, you know, I haven't really heard much of Cosmos since DLC 5, you know, since we figured out his Byleth. And they're like, oh, I'm going to prove it to you. I was like, okay. So, apparently this person went out and found the Cosmos community and maybe the Sandbag community. I don't know what happened there. Make up your own conclusion. But, yeah, so the Cosmos person tried to prove it to me that there's still fans of her out there. I know there are, but it's just they died down. I haven't heard much since. But 73 votes, that's a big swing, right? Because did she ever her last matchup she had 39, where she beat Chun-Li, and then she jumps up to 73 big time. But Sandbag was up in the winner's bracket. I don't know what he had last time, but Sandbag won 107 to 73. I don't know what to tell you. Maybe somebody in the Cosmos community got wind of this and said, hey, Sandbag people, do you want to vote for him? I don't know. So, without any further ado, I'm moving on, though. We got a good matchup today. Monster Hunter, the Hunter from Monster Hunter, is going to be taking on Medusa from the Kid Icarus series. So, let me just mention this real quick. Some people are going to say they're alternate or bot accounts or something like that. I don't have any way to prove it. If I did, I would disqualify some of these. I would have to figure out, like, each person's IP address, and I do not have time to do that. This is a just fun tournament. If you have to cheat in this, and I'm not saying that anyone is, but, I mean, look at the numbers yourself. But if you have to cheat, what kind of person are you, really? Like, really, what does this ultimately get you? Exactly. Nothing. Okay. But, yeah, there's nothing I can really do. I can look at it and go, all right, this is an account that has 0 subscribers. You know how many accounts have 0 subscribers on YouTube that still leave comments on videos? There's millions. There's millions. So, I don't know what to say. I don't know what to do about it. There's nothing. Whatever. Can we just move? We're just gonna go to the matchup. We're just gonna go to the matchup because the whole situation is weird. We had that once last week. Some people were saying alt accounts. Some people were saying whatever. I mean, people bring in friends. People make up their own videos to say, hey, come vote for this person. People, whatever it is. It's more votes. I know it looks weird and suspicious. I'm on the same page, but unless somebody has a 100% concrete way to fix this, I just got to keep rolling with what it is. So, Medusa. Jumping back on track here. Medusa, Kid Icarus, villain. Haha, I like villains. Kid Icarus, first party series, right? Odds are that we're going to have at least one first party character, maybe a couple in Fighter Pass 2. So, I don't know. What about Medusa? Medusa might be best fit as a Echo, semi-Echo-ish character of Palutena. They both have the same sort of hitbox and frame-wise, you know, height and weight and all that sort of stuff to their characters. So moves, obviously, if you're going to be an Echo fighter, yes, Echo being a direct copy of another character for the most part. So Medusa does work as a Echo fighter very well, but Medusa has her own moveset, her own personality as a character, and that's what a lot of people do want to see in a character. Personality, correct? Come on. Oh, you're gonna do this to me now? Ah, there we go. Finally, jeez, hate when it does that. But so Medusa, right? What can Medusa bring to the table that Palutena doesn't? Well, she obviously would rival Palutena in the terms of, you know, light and dark. So and of course, I guess that's the main point of a villain, right? You counter and you're just the opposite of what your hero and villains are. Obvious. So. Simple reasons. But, so what could she do that would be a little bit different? So if you know anything about the Medusa character, do not stare into her eyes, right? You stare into her eyes and you're going to turn into concrete, you're going to turn into stone. That's perfect for a move. And the way to kind of replicate that, the way to give you a visual idea on how that would work, Mewtwo's down special, his attack, you know? It's got decent range where he just kind of like stuns you, or it's not really paralyzed. So yeah, it just sort of stuns you. Exact same thing. Medusa, you stare at her, she uses it and like a little glare happens to, you know, pop out from her eyes or whatever, and you get hit by it. Maybe you just turn to stone instead of Mewtwo's, how when he hits his opponent, they kind of sit there stunned and like kind of wobbly a little bit. Maybe for Medusa, you get hit by it and your opponent will turn to stone for a couple seconds. They will break out of it, obviously, but whether you get hit by another move, that will break you out of it, or Medusa just fails to follow up with it, that's another thing. So that's already one thing to do. She's got like these like fiery laser type of dealy bobs, and I thought that would be really cool. Just kind of like, they'd be like, the way I kind of see it could be like, you summon, I don't know, like this thing of these fire lasers in front of you, right? And it's just kind of like a projectile that's kind of out there, and they're fiery bar, and they kind of, they'll spin around a little bit and kind of like move in weird kind of directions. So, I mean, that's a little bit different. So it's just, I don't know. I'm just trying to go with stuff that's not copy paste from Palutena, even though again, Echo Fighter of Palutena does work in this situation. There we go. What else did we have up here? We got some interesting stuff. Hold up. The up B, the warp, that should be the same no matter what, Echo Fighter or original. It just opens a gate, or not a gate, but just warps up. Very copy paste Palutena, easy. And that's another thing about DLC characters. They typically will use a character as a base model and then build off of it from there. Whether they might keep a couple moves, whether they might take another move from somebody else that's on the roster. That's pretty much what all DLC characters have done so far. Joker's had that with a few of his moves. Hero's had that. Banjo has it. Okay, let's name a couple. Like Hero, similar to Robin in some aspects with the magic attacks. He's got his dash attack, the leaping sword strike. Link has that. Banjo-Kazooie's got the little rolling for his dash attack, and then his forward air is the quick little punch. Somebody else had... I mean, there's alterations of that. Kind of Donkey Kong's got like a two-handed fist attack, but, I mean, they're somewhat similar in terms of animation, so it's like they take something that's already there and they just kind of alter it for DLC characters, which would be kind of cool. So, I mean, Medusa, yeah, there's potential. DLC potential, though? I don't know about that. You could bring up the whole spirit debate, or spirits. Do they just confirm a character? Depends on what side of the fence you're on for that one. I say for Fighter Pass 2, no, because everybody's back on the table, honestly. If Nintendo is really listening to what the fans want these spirits to be upgraded. Fans want assist trophies to be upgraded. So, I don't know. Nintendo could throw us a curveball. Could really throw us a curveball, so that'd be kind of interesting. And then plus the snakes in the hair, that was another thing I was going to mention. You could do that for that could be like the little jab combo, your AAA. All the snakes just kind of like one at a time kind of come out and snap at you a little bit, so that'd be kind of cool. But let's move on to Medusa's opponent, Monster Hunter. Now, Monster Hunter had such great potential for a character in terms of moveset, and then Byleth came along. What does Byleth have to do with Monster Hunter? The way I envisioned Monster Hunter, or the hunter from Monster Hunter, the way I envisioned it was a character with multiple different weapons for multiple different, moves, whatever it might be, and that's how Byleth plays. He's got essentially a lance. He's got the sword. He's got an arrow. He's got that giant spiky axe thing. I don't know the actual names of them, but he's got different weapons per inputs for his moves. And that's how I always said I envisioned Monster Hunter. Monster Hunter has different weapons as well. Got the big sword, has dual wielding daggers, has an ice bow. Ice bow hitting an opponent could end up causing maybe a freeze effect, similar to how Byleth, if you sit there and charge it long enough, and you fire off the more powerful shot, maybe that's how the ice bow could have worked. You could have sat there, charged it up a little bit longer, and if your opponent gets hit with it, they become frozen and go kind of flying off. Similar effect, kind of, if you get hit by a PK freeze from Lucas. That's just the best way to kind of mesh those two together or kind of talk about those. So, I mean, ice bow, you got daggers. I mean, then Monster Hunter, how could Monster Hunter work? Because we don't really have we have one actual hunter, Monster Hunter, because in the Monster Hunter games you play as an avatar. There's not an actual character per se that's in the store it's like a reoccurring character. No, it's always an avatar you play as, except for this one on screen right here in the middle. That one has been in Marvel vs. Capcom games, and is the only hunter that has fully fledged out voice acting. So maybe Capcom kind of envisions that hunter, or this hunter on screen, as the hunter for Monster Hunter. So if that ends up happening, odds are that will at least be the default. Of course, they can go different hunter characters and costumes and get-ups, whatever. They could do kind of similar to Hero, how you get 4 different heroes, and then each of those 4 get an alternate color themselves. So maybe they could do that. 4 different hunters, armors, and then a different color for each of them. So, again, it sucks because Byleth took the idea that I pretty much... Nobody stole the idea. Nintendo didn't look at my video and go, that's a great idea for Byleth. No, that's not how that happened. I'm not saying that, trust me. I don't get that many people watching these videos. But that's just how I envision Monster Hunter. So, envisioning the hunter being in Smash Bros. Now with an identical... maybe that's going back to my point. When you take a character that's already on the roster and you use them for a base build for a DLC character. Maybe they do that with Byleth for the Monster Hunter. I guess that could work. And then you just got to put your own twist on how Monster Hunter works. Maybe Monster Hunter could be a bit slower and hit a little harder. Maybe Monster Hunter could be a bit faster. I don't know. Plus, go back to the MVC games. Those are fighting games. And since the Hunter's a playable character in that, you already got movesets. So if you want just some other idea for playable, I guess, play style and moves, look up one of them. I mean, it works. And plus, we got the random Rathalos that ended up being a boss and an assist trophy. And a lot of people are like, all right, yeah, we getting a Capcom rep with Monster Hunter, getting a playable Hunter. And then we didn't, which was weird. But now we have Fighter Pass 2. Capcom and Nintendo work extremely well together. Monster Hunter does very well on Nintendo systems, even though they didn't get the new big Monster Hunter that came out a year ago. I don't know, maybe there could be something. You never know. But I guess for me, I'm going to actually vote for Monster Hunter. I think the Hunter not only probably has the better chance, even though that's not usually a thing I care about when voting, but I'm going Monster Hunter because of I just like the multitude of weapons and just the arsenal that the Hunter has in its possession. So, playstyle wise, I'm going to go Monster Hunter. Simple as that. So, let me know who you guys are voting for down in the comments. Medusa, Monster Hunter, or both. They're all good options. Again, sorry about the voting thing. I don't know what to do. I really don't know what to do. People say make a straw poll. You can still easily rig straw polls. It's like, I don't know. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. If you have a suggestion, put it in the comments, and maybe there's a simple solution. Otherwise, it is what it is. So, I guess sneak peek for tomorrow. Matchup I'm looking forward to, and kind of dreading a little bit. We'll see how it plays out. But tomorrow's matchup, Waluigi from, well, the Mario universe happens to be taking on Rimu from the Toho project. It's going to be a tough one. We'll see how that one plays out, but that's tomorrow. And then the results for tomorrow's matchup we will get from Sephiroth, who's taking on Monokuma. That's it for this one. Hope you guys enjoyed. I have a second video later today. Click it. Watch it. Please. Anyway, that is it. Hope you guys enjoyed. Hopefully we'll catch you on the next one. Peace out, everybody.